Yeah, speaking about the Indian Contract Act 1872, it actually came in September 1, 1872. Let me show you once again because I forgot to record it. As per the BAR Act, I will show the Contract Act 1872. The section 1 always defines about the title of the act and the extents and the commencement when it comes into force, and to the extent which it can go. Okay, that's the thing. For whatever the act you go on check, the section 1 will always defines upon these things: short titles, extents, commencements. Short title means how the act can be called as. You can't call as Contract Act 1872. In some point of time, they re-change the name. Okay, 2 to 3 times the name have been changed. Okay. First, if I'm not wrong, it's Contract Act, and then Indian Contract Act, the Indian Contract Act, something the names have been changed in that time and extended to all of the India, not to Jammu and Kashmir. If so, they can make the amendments. And it came on 1st September 1872. And the second one is defines about the definition. Whatever the thing, it's act like an dictionary, not a dictionary. Okay. For example, if you need to understand something, you need to go and see the section 2 of any act. It will explain the definition of the words which you are looking for. In this context, we are looking for 2 subsection H. An agreement enforceable by law is a contract. So that's the thing. And one more thing, 2 subsection E, which is known as every promise and every set of promise forming the consideration for each other is an agreement. Okay. Right now I'm using some other material, like it's the Shorter's book for explaining the meaning, because you can't understand everything from the parent. Okay. So from section 2 subsection H, Indian Contract Act 1872, an agreement enforceable law. It's 2 essential elements. One is an agreement and another one is enforceability by law. Okay, what is meant by an agreement? Again, the agreement is defined by the section 2. So what does the section 2 defines? 2 subsection E says every promise and every set of promise, forming the consideration for each other. For each other, if you are entering into contract, there will be 2 parties. Okay, 2 parties. 2 parties. You can't do, and single person can't do an agreement with anyone. Like he can't do any agreement with himself. Okay, we need 2 parties, minimum 2 parties for anything. Okay, so there is the reason forming consideration for each other, and there should be a promise. If an agreement, there should be a promise. There should be a consideration. So what is meant by promise? The law defines. You can't go and say, I know what is meant by promise. Show your hand. I will do the promise. In the name of the God, I declare so on. So I will do what? It's not. If we have something in the act, as per the Indian Contract Act, section 2 defines the promise. Okay. Section 2 of subsection B defines the promise. When the person to whom the proposal is made signifies his assent thereto, the proposal is said to be accepted. Proposal, when accepted, becomes a promise. Okay. Actually, same thing is divided in the 4 parts. 1, when the person to whom the proposal is made, for example, person A made a proposal to B, not the love proposal, it may be anything. Okay. Okay. Signifies his assent. He says yes or no for the proposal. Yeah. We can say the consent, whatever he likes. Signifies his assent, I mean his opinion. Okay. When the proposal made by A accepted by B, it became as a promise. Okay, I will come with an example. You can use whatever you like. For example, A agreed to sell car worth of 5 lakhs to B. Okay, they made a proposal. A made a proposal to B, like, would you like to buy my car for 5 lakh? Okay, B said, okay, deal done. Right now it became a promise. Okay. Is there any confusion relating to this part? The person to whom the proposal is made signifies his assent to that proposal which is made to him. The proposal becomes accepted. The accepted proposal becomes the promise. Do I need to explain one more time, or did you understand? You can text it in the chat box. Yes, no, or something. Okay, I will just please. அதாவது ஒரு பர்சன் என்ன பண்றாருன்னா, இன்னொரு ப்ரொஃபஸருக்கு ஒரு ப்ரொபோசல் கொடுக்குறாரு, எனி ப்ரொபோசல். அதாவது அதுல அந்த அனதர் பார்ட்டி அவருடைய திங்க் பண்ணி ஹி திங்ஸ் ஓகே அக்செப்ட் பண்ணலாமா இல்லையா அவரோட ஒப்பீனியன் தராரு. ஸோ ஒன்ஸ் திங்க் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் அவர் என்ன பண்றாருன்னா அந்த ப்ரொபோசலை அக்செப்ட் பண்றாரு. ஸோ அந்த ப்ரொபோசலை அக்செப்ட் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் இட் பிகம்ஸ் அ ப்ராமிஸ். ஓகே, ஸோ இப்போ ப்ராமிஸ் புரிஞ்சுது. ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இந்த டெஃபினேஷன் எவ்ரி ப்ராமிஸ் ஆர் எவ்ரி செட் ஆஃப் ப்ராமிஸ், மல்டிபிள் ப்ராமிசஸாக இருக்கலாம். ஓகேங்களா, ஃபார்மிங் த கன்சிடரேஷன். இந்த இடத்துல பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஏ என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா உனக்கு கார் கொடுக்குறேன்றாங்க. அதே மாதிரி பி என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா அதுக்கு காருக்கு ஈக்குவலண்ட் அமௌண்ட் ஆஃப் 5 lakh rupees தரேன். தெர் இஸ் எ கன்சிடரேஷன். ஏன்றது ஏன்றவர் வந்து காரை ஒன்று கொடுக்குறாரு உங்களுக்கு, ஐ மீன் பிக்கு. பி as the same pays the 5 lakh rupees to A. I mean A made the promise, I mean made the proposal to B. Once the promise is like the proposal is accepted by B, the proposal becomes the promise. So there is a promise. So again, we need one more element called consideration. So what is meant by consideration? Let me show you. Like I will use the word. 1 second. Okay. Right now, what is meant by an agreement? When you make an offer or proposal, it get accepted, it becomes an agreement. A single line definition. Meaning, do you understand the agreement or not? Do I need to explain it one more time? When you make an offer, I mean, when you make a proposal, the proposal accepted by the concerned person, it became a promise. So with a consideration, it's an agreement. It's not a contract. Okay, right now I'm speaking about the agreement. Okay, do you understood or not?
Yes, understood, sir. Okay. One person, person A offering and person B is accepting. Okay, so now it is becoming an agreement between A and B.
Yeah. So that's the reason every promise or every set of, there will be multiple promises also. That's the reason we are having every promise or every set of promise.
Right.
For example, I am agreed to construct a building. Okay, single promise. I am agreed to construct 5 buildings for you. For example, for the school, laboratory, like playground, restrooms, and like what's that, like cinema hall, something, auditorium. There is a set of promise for a consideration. Yeah, you need to pay me a 10 lakh or 10 something. There will be a consideration. It is an agreement. Up to now, we spoke about only the agreement. Okay, when the agreement is result of proposal made by one party to the other party, and the other party gives this action, of course, of mutual consideration. Both should agree upon the consideration. Okay, there is some separate topic related to consideration. I will come again. Okay, for example, yes, if you beat someone, I will give 10 lakh rupees. I mean, for example, I paid 10 lakh rupees for Rolex, and I said Rolex want to kill him. Okay, can you able to like say this is a valid contract? Valid. Right from the beginning, it is invalid. You can say void. I will explain it. I mean, it's an agreement. Yeah, there is a proposal. I made a proposal to Rolex. Will you beat him or kill him? Someone. Okay. Okay, Rolex said I will accept. It's an agreement for a consideration of 10 lakh rupees. There is a consideration. There is a promise. It became an agreement. Can you able to enforce it by law? That's the second thing. Enforceability. Okay, the agreement plus enforceability. Okay, an agreement to become a contract must give rise to the legal obligation, which means a dual enforceable by law. It should be enforceable by law, or else it can't be treated as contract. There is a something called every contract is an agreement, but every agreement is not a contract. If it has to be a contract, after making an agreement, it can be a contract. Okay, but every contract can be enforced by law. If you can enforce the agreement, it will become as a contract, or else it will remain as an agreement. So that's the reason there is a say all contracts are agreement, but all agreements are not contract. Okay, do you have any doubts up to now? Any doubts? You can type yes or no. No means I will explain it. Okay. Because like some issues. Okay. It's a basic idea. I will explain everything one by one. I think I'm going too fast. I don't know. Okay, that's the reason I'm asking frequently. It's my speed is okay or not, or my language. Okay. Okay, we can go for a few examples. Okay, A agrees to sell B. A agrees with the B to sell a car for 2 lakhs. Here A is under obligation to give car. B has the right to receive the car on payment of 2 lakhs. And also B is also under obligation to pay 2 lakh to A. And A has the right to receive the 2 lakhs. A agreed to sell a car to B. For example, Arun agreed to sell a car to Balu. Yeah, B, no, it's not okay. We can take like Vijay agrees to sell a car to Hari for 2 crores. Okay, right now Vijay has the obligations. Like he is under an obligation to give the car to me, the new Rolls Royce car which he bought. Hypothetical examples. Okay. Okay, right now I am also has the right to receive the car from Vijay by making a payment of 2 lakhs. And one more thing, in another way, I am also under an obligation to pay. First obligation to A is to give the car, and I have the right to receive the car on payment. And the second thing, in another way, from my point of view, Hari is obligated to pay 2 crores to Vijay, and Vijay has the right to receive the 2 lakhs. It's still legal. It's become legal because it's the material which are dealing is also legal, and the consideration also okay. And one more thing is that like consideration, it can be adequate or inadequate. I will come into it. I will explain it. Like I can't go on everything on one way. Okay, that's the reason I'm going on small phase. Once we pick up, I can go like anything. Okay, and I missed this topic, the contract promise of an agreement, which is like when the contract comprises of an agreement, which is a promise, and it is a set of reciprocal of promise. You need to do something, I need to do something. It gives rise to the binding man. You can't just like sell due to rise in price. Vijay said, I won't sell the car to you. Yeah, I can go for court and can file a suit against him, and I can buy the car for 2 crore rupees. Just imagine if it's not a car, it's a piece of land. He thinks the value of the land is 2 crores, but suddenly that due to some reason, the value of the land became like 200%, like 4 crores rupees. Right now, already we entered into an agreement. Yeah, that's the reason why purchasing a land, everyone will make an agreement. The one which you are doing in the register office is registration process. Before that, you will make an agreement with him. You will buy a 20 rupees stamp paper, and I so and so agreed to pay so and so amount for the product of so and so, and he so and so agreed to purchase the product from me. Like both have the obligations and rights. In this situation, for example, me and Vijay went to the purchased a bond by worth of 20 rupees and wrote Vijay is under the obligation to sell the car to Hari for the value of 2 crores. And as the same, Hari has the right to receive the car on the payment of 2 crores from Vijay. And the same, B is under an obligation. Hari. Hari is under an obligation to pay 2 crores to Vijay. And as the same, Vijay has the right to receive the amount of 2 crores. I can't pay to someone else. I need to pay for Vijay. And as the same, Vijay can't be able to sell the car to someone else. He need to sell the car to me. So we are binding with a contract. First proposal is made. So once the proposal is accepted, it becomes promise. So with the consideration, it should be mandatory. The consideration should be there. Yeah, it may be nominal or whatever. There should be consideration. I will speak about those in the later. Right now, fix it with the consideration as rupees, money, whatever the value. I may say like I will sell you 2 BMW car. You give me like your Mercedes Benz. Yeah, we are making a consideration. We are making an agreement. Yeah, obviously there is a consideration. For 2 BMW car, I am giving 1 Mercedes. There is a consideration. It need not to be a monetary value. Like it need not to be currency also. Money. It can be some other also. I will come into that one. Okay. And most important, it should be enforceable by law. Unless otherwise, you can't prove it. I mean, it's legal or you can't be able to enforce it. It can't become a contract. Okay, most important thing, a contract means accepted proposal or agreement plus enforceability. Even you can add like plus consideration. I mean, actually, like in this first situation, like we need consideration. In technically, if so, acceptance means consideration. Without acceptance, without consideration they won't accept. Okay, it's a basic thing. A consideration also you can have it in simple other formulas. If they are asking in the 1 month, you can go with this. Okay. 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 Right now, second example: father promises his son to pay pocket allowance of 500 per every month, but he refuses to pay. Later, the son cannot record the same in the court of law, as this is social agreement. This is not created with an intention to create legal relationship, and hence it is not a contract. To be honest, it's just. But there is one more thing. Like for example, there is a case law like between gardener versus gardener. I don't know. Husband and wife. For example, after the marriage, the husband suddenly left the house and he went on overseas job, like traveling in oceans or somewhere. For around few months, 6 months or something, he sent the money to the wife to take care of everything. After that, he stopped paying. So the wife went to the court and filed a court suit against the husband for the like he is not paying for the for me after for a while he paid for house expenses of so on so $2,500, and right now he is not paying. I'm demanding him to pay. Like the husband says, I can't pay. But in this situation, there is a contract between both, because you married for you are got married, so you are legally bound to pay the amount. Okay, in this situation, there is a case that happened. I don't know elaborately. I forgot everything, but there is like in this situation, it's just a pocket money without any written agreement something. It's a social agreement. Okay, what do you think about husband? No, it means it's different. There is a case law for that. I don't know. It's in our syllabus. I think it's not in our syllabus, and I can go for the next page. I mean, it is out of the scope of the Contract Act. An obligation to maintain the wife, children on order of the court of law. These are status obligations under. So out of the, it's your responsibility. You need to maintain. It's not like paying pocket money. It's not the responsibility. Like it's not maintaining a wife and children. There is a case law related to this. I will look into it. I will tell you about it. Okay. Do you have any doubts up to now? Can I move on? I think
No,
makes sense.
so fine.
Okay.
No, it's fine.
Okay, right now there is a basic difference between the agreement and the contract. What is an agreement? Like as I said, every promise and every set of promises forming the consideration for each other is known as agreement. But contract is nothing but agreement enforceable by law. I mean, contract includes agreement. That's the reason agreement. Plus legal enforceability. When the agreement is legally enforceable, become contract. So there is a difference is nothing but legal enforceability is the difference between the agreement and the contract. And most importantly, the agreement is wider, both legal and social agreements. But it is narrowed. Specifying specification of that contract is only, I mean, what you entered upon the agreement, it's narrow. It's shorter down. Like agreement means it's wider term. We have a lot of things, but in contract, it's specifically like it's narrowed down few concepts only, not too much. For example, I plan to sell a product, I still can't go beyond that. Okay, and then legal obligation, it may not create a legal obligation in the agreement. If it creates the legal obligation, it will become as a contract. And one more say that all agreements are not contract. Need not to be. All contracts are agreements. Because if it is not an agreement, you can't make it as contract. That's the reason. Up to now, I think you can understand. There is few things called essentials of valid contract. We will look into it and we can move on. Do you have any doubts, clarifications, anything? Because we have less time. Uh, this is the, if I'm not wrong, yeah. The husband agreed to pay wife certain amount of money for maintenance while he was in abroad. Husband failed to pay the money promised amount. Wife sued him to recover the amount. In this case, wife cannot recover all. It was a social agreement. The parties did not intend to create any legal obligations. I think there's one more case law. I can they proved it. Yeah, you can use the case laws also. Even a recent movie from, it's not recent, Vijay movie where he gets water vote for someone took his right to vote and he go for law and make something called section 2 of subsection something. So it became a case law. So while referring to the case law, you can go for the court and argue with the court. Yeah, there are a lot of things in favor of husband, in favor of wife. There are a lot of case laws. You can dig upon everything. I have 1 minute left. If you have any doubt, just ask me. Or if you need to explain me in Tamil also, I am ready. Actually, the population is less, I know. Can I actually less than 1 minute? Can we move on? Okay. Actually, we left with 1 minute. I need to share any link. Or can I continue with tomorrow? It's already
Yes, sorry.
4:30. Can we
Yeah, we
continue
can
tomorrow?
carry on tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow fine.
Okay, and we can speak with them. If you have any doubt, you can call me, but don't
No, no,
stupid
so far
question.
okay, Hari. So far
Okay.
it's fine.
Because it's basics, that's the thing I'm slowly going.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, we can
fine.
stop.